On this week's episode, is Sega getting back into the console war? We take a look at Project Spartan and give you all of the juicy details. Dora the Explorer is scheduled to get a live-action film. Pokemon Go finally has competition. And finally, Xbox is killing the Kinect. I can't believe it's still listening. All of this and much, much more on this week's episode of The Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Brian Chappelle, and let's get straight into this week's news. I never thought I'd see the day, but it looks like the day has finally come. Sega is getting back into the console business. Well, kind of. It's been 16 years since gamers have received a Sega console, and now a group of gamers have manufactured an awesome modern-day console that they hope to pitch to Sega, and Sega then take that console and mass-produce it for all the gamers in the world. The Spartan console is a 4K console with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, a 1 terabyte hard drive, a 4 gigabyte GeForce GTX gaming processor, and all the while the console is running on a custom Spartan operating system. I think I can speak for the rest of Sega fans throughout the world by saying, yes, please. I mean, the technical specs on this unit are insane. From what I can tell, this thing would outperform the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, putting it in the upper echelon of consoles with the Xbox One X. Now, if you're like me, you're probably like, great, now let me see it actually run a game. Well, Spartan console took care of that by giving us one of Sega's biggest franchises running on the Spartan console, Sega 4K. Sega's initial run in the world of consoles lasted 18 years. Their first console, the SG-1000, came out in 1984. But in 2001, Sega decided to step away from the console world and focus solely on software and video game development. Why? Well, in an interview with The Guardian, former president of Sega America, Peter Moore, had this to say. Dreamcast was a phenomenal 18 months of pain, heartache, and euphoria. We thought we had it. But then PlayStation came out. And of course, EA didn't publish, which left us a big hole, not only in sports but in other genres. We ended up that Christmas period not being able to get where we needed to be. We weren't far short, we just couldn't get that critical mass. I can't remember the exact figures, but we had to make in hundreds of millions of dollars by the holiday season and shift in millions of units of hardware, otherwise we just couldn't sustain the business. So on January 31st, 2001, we said Sega is leaving hardware. Somehow, I got to make that call, not the Japanese. I had to fire a lot of people. It was not a pleasant day. So this leaves us with the ever-burning question of the week. Could Sega make a successful run with a console in the current stages of the console war?
As the console war stands today, PlayStation and Xbox, recent advancements seem to have been solidified. But to the south, the kingdom of Nintendo has been making its presence felt. To the north, in the land of nostalgia, Nintendo's recent Super Nintendo Mini has fortified its position against the joint Sega-Atari flashback campaign. But there is another land to be claimed. In the land of 4K, near the mountain of high def, Microsoft's Xbox One X has dominated and ruled with an iron fist. PlayStation was one of the first to invade. Their PlayStation Pro was strong, but it could not overthrow the X. The entire gaming world was looking for an answer. And finally, one has arrived.
Also this week we found out that Dora the Explorer is getting a live-action remake. That's right. The Hollywood Reporter reported this week that Paramount is in the process of giving a live-action retelling of the popular Nickelodeon children's series. According to The Hollywood Reporter, details are being kept under wraps, but the live-action take is said to center on Dora, not as the 7-year-old as seen on the TV series, but now a teenager who moves to the city to live with her cousin Diego. The film is being produced by Platinum Dunes, and if that name sounds familiar, it's probably because you've seen some of their other work. Such work like Amityville Horror, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Purge, or The Transformers. In fact, the Platinum Dunes is part owned by Michael Bay. Now, before you get too excited that Dora the Explorer is going to be like a Transformers film and Boots is going to turn into a robot, no. The Collider actually covered all of this in an update to the story. While Bay's production company Platinum Dunes is producing the project, Bay himself is not involved. Nintendo held a Nintendo Direct this week where they announced a brand new mobile game coming late November. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp will allow players to manage their own campsites. They can personalize and build up both their character and their campsites, which they can decorate with a variety of buildings and furniture. Players also benefit from a multiplayer feature that lets players exchange ID numbers and visit each other's campsites. While Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is still a month away, pre-registration is currently available for Android and iOS devices. In other Nintendo-related news, Game Informer released an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto where they talked everything from nostalgia to Super Mario Odyssey to probably my favorite part of the interview where Nintendo admitted that when it came to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they actually didn't know if it was going to succeed or not. This is funny to me because the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is easily Nintendo's most popular game prior to Super Mario Odyssey being released this week. Currently, the Breath of the Wild sits on Metacritic with a 97% approval rating, and both GameSpot and IGN have both given it a 10 out of 10. So to hear that Nintendo was like, don't know how the market's gonna react to this, just kind of is, I don't know, I just find it very funny. Shigeru Miyamoto explained, "This concept of open world is something I had when I built the very first Zelda. And so it's not that I have played a lot of open world games to get that concept, but I did feel that as the franchise was moving forward, that we were losing that concept of open world. And so we decided to go back to the essence and really kind of build a game that really brings to life that concept. And I was definitely not sure how it was going to be accepted. And I think the team was the same way, in that we just built a game we thought would really bring to life what we were really trying to accomplish. And even with the last year to 6 months before the release, all we could do was really try to believe in what we created and really polish and finish it up and make sure we felt good about it. And it wasn't until those final touches that we felt like we were going in the right direction. And even then, we definitely weren't sure if it was going to do well or not. So I was very relieved when it did well. Man, I still can't wrap my head around that. I mean, after all of these years and after all the games Nintendo has made, they can't figure out what's going to be a success and what's not going to be a success. It just blows my mind. Anyway, on to the next topic. This has been an insanely busy week here at the Nerf Report. Oftentimes, because it's so busy, I don't have the opportunity to post my thoughts on current events. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take a quick second and post a few tweets and just let the world know what I feel about a few things. Thank you, at Xbox, for allowing the Xbox One X to run original Xbox games. Glad I paid $600 for a high-def console, just to play games from 2006. The suggested meal size of at Totino's Pizza Rolls says 15 rolls, or as I like to call it, a good start. At TwitchCon, the only place where you can admit to watching someone for 300 plus hours, not have the cops called on you. Thank you, at Dole Tweets, for your fun-sized salad Halloween packs. I couldn't think of a better way to say, please, egg my house. At PlayStation, just unveiled a new controller. Controllers designed for small-handed gamers and children, i.e., our president. Hashtag fake news. Also this week, Destiny 2 finally launched on PC, but unfortunately for some players, they received insta-bans. Over 1,000 players took to Reddit to complain or issue to say, hey, we got banned unjustly, and Destiny just kind of shook their head at it. In fact, some of the Redditors suspected that OBS or Discord or third-party apps were the reason for the banning. However, Bungie responded to the bannings by saying, bans were applied to players who were using tools that pose a threat to the shared ecosystem of the game. We did not, and will not, issue any bans for the use of overlays or performance tools, including Discord, XSplit, OBS, RTSS, etc. Great statement. Gets to the point, addresses the problem, and offers a solution. However, fast forward 24 hours later, and Bungie's tone seems to have changed. In a blog post, Bungie had this to say: a group of players were banned in error. Those players have now been unbanned. However, Bungie still stands by their statement that third-party apps like Discord and OBS were not responsible for this. In fact, community manager Cosmos had this to say in a community update: third-party applications that aren't compatible with Destiny 2 may cause the game to not run, but won't result in a ban. And in weird tech news this week, Amazon debuted a brand new service that, quite frankly, leaves me just scratching my head. Allow me to introduce you to the Amazon Key. Amazon Key is a service that allows your packages to be securely delivered inside your front door. To get started, you purchase the Amazon Key in-home kit. The kit includes an Amazon Cloud Cam and a compatible smart lock. Amazon then authorizes the delivery, and the delivery company then delivers your package, gets a digital passcode from Amazon, opens your front door, leaves your package inside your home, and no. Like, let's put the whole giving random strangers access to your home idea kind of aside. What makes you think this is a good idea? I'm already paranoid when it comes to my house already. I lock the door like twice. I've got security cameras. I've got a security system. No way am I putting this on the front door. You can literally just leave the package at the front door. If someone steals it, Amazon's gonna replace it. Also, side note, as a dog owner, my dogs already freak out when the FedEx truck pulls to the front of my house. There is no way that that guy is gonna be able to open the door, drop a package, and shut the door without one of my dogs going full Cujo. But hey, if you're not like me and you think that this is a genuinely good idea, you can get your very own Amazon Key for $249.99. And finally this week, I want to talk to you about dragons. More specifically, Draconius Go. Draconius Go was developed by Ukrainian developer Ililent. The game has the goal of hunting, capturing, and training magical creatures. There are quests, rifts to other worlds, and spells to enhance your creatures, and player versus player battles. Sounds familiar? Well, Niantic, the developer of Pokemon Go, thinks so too. Pokemon Go is still one of the most popular mobile games here in America, and it's only a matter of time before someone took that concept, altered it a little bit, and created a brand new game. Niantic has issued a complaint against Draconius Go in the Apple App Store. According to Undrei Simnuk, we've received an ungrounded complaint from Niantic in the App Store. They think we violated their copyright. However, we didn't use their coding or graphics when developing our product. It's absolutely original. The developers of this popular Go game seem to think that they own their exclusive right to the whole AR genre. It's not like that. We believe that the market and players will only benefit from healthy competition. When we developed this game, we consulted leading world-class lawyers, and we are 100% certain that Niantic's claim is unjustified. Niantic's reaction shows that they considered us as a serious rival. By doing so, they actually prove that our product is better. In just 1 year, our Ukrainian team has managed to do more than Niantic with their billions of income. And we are proud of our results. Our graphic is unique and better quality than any other AR game. Besides, our game offers a variety of game mechanics that were never used in other AR games. We hear and understand our players. We offer them an interesting gameplay. That's what makes us special. We hope that our rivals will start improving their own games instead of making complaints and ignoring their fans. Currently, we are preparing new updates that we will hope make our players happy in the nearest future. He literally laid down the gauntlet and called out Niantic. I absolutely love this, because as a fan of Pokemon Go, I still play this game today. I've played it since day one. I will be the first to admit that that game has some serious flaws. I live in the rural areas, and to find Pokemon or Pokestops, it's really difficult. And in the 2 days of playing Draconia's Go, let me tell you, they literally focus only on rural areas. Here's some photos. This is a picture from my Pokemon Go stomping grounds. As you can see, there are no Pokestops in Pogo. But in Draconia's Go, the Pillars of Abundance are prevalent. That being said, I do understand where Niantic is coming from, because there is a lot of resemblance to Pokemon Go in Draconia's Go. The catching scenes, monsters nearby, and Pokédex all look really similar. So where do I land on this? Well, I welcome the competition. I think Pokemon Go needs the competition. Niantic has become way too comfortable with the position that they're in. I have not been a stranger when it comes to criticizing Niantic on some of their recent decisions for Pokemon Go. Most recently, I was very vocal about the decision that catching Mewtwo was by invitation only. I think that was the biggest middle finger that they could have given to the player base that still plays their game, but there's not dedicated like the top 1% or 2% that do play their game. So when it comes to Draconia's Go, I feel like it's a more streamlined version of Pokemon Go. There's Pillars of Abundances, which are awesome. There's buried treasure, apparently, that you can catch. There's artifacts that you can actually attach to your monsters. There's gyms, and there's PvP combat, which, last I checked in Pokemon Go, we were asking for that since day one, and nope, still don't have it. And with that, we come to the end of the show. That is it for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. If you like what you saw, make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, please share it with your friends. As always, my name is Bryant Chappelle. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thank you for watching. Oh, happy Halloween. Almost forgot to say it. Happy Halloween.